Good afternoon, everybody. Roger here again. I wanted to talk to you about, this is a follow-up to my last video of the Kilroy event. And I did finally get to watch the full segment, two and a half hours or 2 hours segment of some black guy interviewing Based Mama, Andy Warski, Sister Danger, and two other people that weren't relevant to, or that weren't conversing within the footage, who I think they both eventually left. And Based Mama actually left after a while as well. She apparently had to go somewhere with her son. But I wanted to go ahead and give my take, and boy, I mean, it's a lot of stuff. I'm still very indifferent to what's going on here. There were a lot of unanswered questions. There was a lot of filler, noticeable filler that I'm pretty sure a lot of people caught. I think the big thing is, I'm not sure if this is a lie, a cover-up, or just a complete lack of understanding your audience. But apparently the non-disclosure agreement and the non-compete document were apparently optional. How can anybody really know this when they're presented with signing this information? So, I mean, if the majority of people out there felt that, this was, not something they expected, which I don't think I would have expected either in a free speech event, and again, there's a lot of other caveats in there. Danger, or Sister Danger, was basically saying that, to my knowledge, it was, I thought everybody understood it was optional. Well, apparently not. The majority of people are going to assume that it looked like it was required. And that's the issue that I have. You don't just assume these things. You should disclose that in the documents. Nobody's going to just blindingly know this. You convenience people as much as possible. You don't expect a good organizer will disclose all of the things that seem obvious or don't seem obvious. This to me doesn't seem obvious. I would have thought that I would have been forced to as well, I'm pretty sure. So that was my big gripe of the whole 2.5 hours. Actually, that was one of them. Obviously, it's not all of it. They all provided excuses for the most part for their lack of experience. They've never organized something like this. I don't think they expected the magnitude of it to be thrown in their face like that. So I think they were mostly not shying away from the ownership of the issues, but there was a lot of well, it's our first time. I was still left with a lot of unanswered questions in regards to people taking responsibility and accountability for the issues that are happening. I mean, you organize the event, it's your first one, yes, we can forgive you for that. I have no issue with the mistakes along the way that are going to happen. But when it takes a long time to own up to something, then there's a problem. There's a problem of trust. There's a problem that something's being hidden, especially with a lot of the vague answers. That's where my issue lies. And the other big thing was the possible doxing. I think it was Braving Ruin on Twitter, at Braving Ruin, ended up exposing a lot of the audio and videos and conversations that they were having in regards to this site that was, mishandling, speaker information, addresses, things like that, and it's very disturbing, and it looks like a lot of it was controlled and contrived to be used maliciously and in a negative way. I'm not a big fan of that. We already had Red Pill Black, Candace Owens, doing that. She's attempting to try to do this again with I'm speaking off topic here, but with illegal immigrants. She wants to make a website where people can report them, which, again, in its own way, it's she just really loves reporting people. So I'm a little, I don't know. I just don't know what to think at this point. But that doxing issue really bothered me as well. You know, I think people are underestimating the importance of that issue. And so, you know, I'm so glad Braving Ruin is throwing it out there and getting it known, getting it out there for people to see. Andy brought up there was definitely a specific moment in that 2.5 hour video chat where Danger Mama and Danger Sister Danger, whatever, Sister Danger basically brought up that people were getting compensated in some way going there. Andy was basically saying, well, I'm not getting compensated. So everybody besides the organizers are getting compensated is what the statement was from Sister Danger. And Andy's like, well, I never heard of in his other video with Styx, he brought this up and he's like, well, I'm not getting compensated. I know a lot of people that were supposed to be speaking, James Allsup, Lauren Southern, and some other people that are also saying they've never received any offer for any, you know, payment of any sort. So, you know, whoever's getting compensated, I don't know. You know, there's a lot of rumors being expelled out there about some people possibly taking the money and running. I don't think it's that extreme. I do believe it's just a case. I think this whole thing is a case of mishandling of information, mishandling of innocent inability to coordinate huge events of this magnitude. And they were all trying to work together, group it all together. And, you know, I would think that Dave Cullen, of all people, would have an understanding of how to organize scenarios like this, being a programmer that he is. So you know, programmers are typically very organized people, and apparently that's not the case. I don't know. I'm a little nerved by all the non-answers, by all of the supposed, by all the non-answers, by all the vague answers, by all the no accountability on the organizer's part, and then also all of the people who either identify or are publicly known or portrayed as alt-right being kicked out of these events. You know, there were supposedly some 15 pre-made ideas that would narrow down from 200 ideas of topics to discuss, and people were going to be assigned to them, these speakers. And there was a rumor that, not a rumor, James Allsup clearly pointed it out there, that he did bring up that he wanted to talk about something completely different than what was offered on the list, that him, Lauren Southern, and some other people wanted to organize together and make their own panel of their own subject. I think it was about racism or something in America, current topic. And she said no, flat out no, I guess. You know, and then not to mention her video that I brought up in the last video, her video attacking people, not attacking, sorry, verbally admitting to possibly defending herself in an extreme way, because Arizona is an open carry. I live in Arizona as well. And, you know, that video itself was, I'm going to say, it was disgusting. I didn't really like it. I think I understood some of where she was coming from in that. You know, it's a lot. This project, I'm pretty sure, is a lot to take on for people who've never done it before. So I have some sympathy for her. I don't have sympathy when it comes to being very vague about your answers, though. You know, you had the opportunity to speak up. You had Sister Danger speaking up almost the entire time. There was maybe about less than 10 minutes of open mouth conversation coming from God, I always do these names. Baked Mama, whatever her mama name is, Base Mama, whatever. So with all this, Base Mama was apparently approached via chat, via email, different methods, and she apparently, it's been alleged that she refused to respond to a lot of them. At least that's what Andy Warski, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, was stating over and over again in this conversation. and based mama is not owning up to that. It doesn't even seem like she did officially own up to any of the mistakes in that. Again, I'm not seeing any ill intent on her end. I feel like I'm sounding like a Hillary Clinton case here. I really don't see any ill intent, but I do see a lot of negligence and a lot of not owning up to your shit. So that's what I see happening here, and I don't think you're owning up to a lot of it. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe I hope that you have the opportunity to readdress this. It didn't sound like you were able to give your full concentration into this video cast, and you went and gave half-assed excuses. You need to give a full explanation. That's my personal opinion, and I don't think that anybody else has to speak for you if you're the one that was handling the majority of the things that people are complaining about. So, based mama, I hope you hear this, and I hope that you actually come out there and make that video, a follow-up video with perfectly clear, non-vague answers regarding the scenarios that are happening, the allegations regarding the doxing, the allegations regarding you not responding to certain people's emails, the allegations that you kicked people out, the allegations that you have removed people. Actually, one thing you guys did do right, there were a couple things. One thing you did do right, and I'll address this right now so I don't forget, is Andy did lay claim and said, you know, you guys are choosing all these people who, you know, to speak, and you're making announcements of them the next day on Twitter. Sister Danger did she outlined it very well why that happened, and I will admit that I think Sister Danger was spot on with her explanation. She basically said these people they were in the queue for supposed speakers. There's a lot of speakers that they were supposed to choose from, and these people, they finally got it all finalized, so that, you know, it might seem like that they were new additions, but they were actually in the queue waiting to finalize what they were going to talk about, what times, what they were going to commit to, etc., etc., etc. So her explanation for that, spot on. It was excellent. So I think I will give credit where credit is due. I do think Andy kind of overreacted there, and I'm glad that you were able, Sister Danger, that you were able to clarify that to him. The one thing I was very annoyed about, and I keep saying Warsowski or something like that, Andy Warski, the one thing that that really did bother me about Andy has valid claims, but what did bother me about him was, again, I'm giving kudos here to Sister Danger. She brought up specifically, okay, I understand where you're coming from, Andy. Can we just move past this? Let's, you know, we're saying that these issues did happen. Can we move past it so we can and work together? I can help you, and we can all organize this and move on, and let's correct our issues. Andy, for the love of God, you kept repeating for, I don't know what it was, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I stopped counting, but you kept repeating, but what was done in the past. What was done in the past. You already did this. You already did that in the past. You did this. You left a sour note in the past. Move on. She's trying to proceed. You're a cool guy. All of you people, I think, had no ill intent. Andy, let that go. Move on. It sounded like she already wanted to go ahead and move on with this and admitted, hey, you know what? We screwed up. We're first timers at this. You don't have to forgive us, but can you let us know what we can do to move forward so we can progress with everything? You just kept bringing up, you kept bringing up the damage. Damage was already done. The damage has already been done. I hope that you move forward with that. I hope you get out of looking at the past and just move forward. If you want to participate, that's great. If you don't, that's great as well. And go out and be with the crowds. I know that you're coming out there for the fans. I think that is totally awesome. You know, if I see you out there, high five. But you did go back and watch. You know, there's like a 30-minute section where she's just trying to move ahead, and you just keep bringing up, but you did this in the past, but this is what the bad taste that was left in our mouths, things of that nature. So, you know, please move on from that, and let's progress this. Let's not look like we're infighting anymore, and let's we've acknowledged that there were issues with this whole scenario in general. I think we're all aware of it. The whole organizational process was just horrid. But let's all work together She's trying to open up and admit guilt. Let's all work together on this and get past it. What else here? I'm looking at my notes now that I'm parked. I'm going to give kudos to another area as well. I really loved how SomeBlackGuy, I really loved how you moderated this. You had no side. You were very neutral. You called out hidden answers to questions that were non-specific, that were vague. You called them out on either side. When Andy wouldn't stop arguing, you told him to tone down. When Sister Danger was getting a little crazy and they were both going at each other's throats, you calmed everybody down. You're an excellent moderator. I do hope to see that. I do hope you attend Kilroy. And again, you know, hats off to you for organizing that and being an excellent neutral moderator. You should be doing a presidential election debate. That's my opinion. So last big thing, and it's probably one of the biggest things. There is an argument from Andy Warski basically saying that they were using big names to sell tickets to get this thing off the ground. Names like Lauren Southern, Tim Pool being the biggest one because he was the first one pulled out, or the first one that had issues and then decided not to attend. Brittany Pettibone, Faith Goldy, and James Allsup. You had all these people's names out there lined up, and I will admit, I wasn't going for, I love all of them, but my main reason for going is Styx. Styx Hex and Hammer 666. I love Tarl. I love his views. I love how he's no shame in speaking and talking to anybody, no shame in pointing out his opinion, no shame in calling out BS. And that's what I aspire to with my content. He's the reason I'm going out there, and before he was even acknowledged as one of the speakers, I already knew he was attending. And just because he was going to be there, just being there, not even being a speaker or anything, I bought my ticket for that reason. Everybody else, to me, everybody's great, but he's the main reason I want to go. And anyways, with that, I will go. I will agree. I do believe that argument is valid. That those names were thrown out there to solicit funds for tickets, and not cool. But then again, the other thing that's in there as well that I do kind of feel may also be a cause here is maybe they were already on the websites being promoted as attendees, and then the NDAs and the agreements, the non-competes came out, and then you had to remove them. So maybe there's no ill intent there. I don't know, but I'm glad everything is cleared out in the open of who in general is attending at this point, who in general is going to speak, who in general is just going to be going as an audience member. Now my personal gripe with this whole thing is we're arguing like leftists. We're arguing like pussy hat wearers, fighting with LGBTQ pi 3.14 pi group, about who they're going to attack next, who has wrongthink. We're doing that in this kind of supposedly free speech, open environment of what we promote. And I understand there needs to be a certain order. There needs to be no chaos, or hardly any chaos when it comes to an event like this. You have to structure and organize, and there has to be categories. But at the same time, I personally believe that it should be an open forum, that these people have spotted allotted times, and then let the conversations flow as they come. Not something that's a structured argument. If somebody wanted to come in talking about whatever they wanted, I mean, that's how I'm looking at this whole free speech event. Is nothing should be limited to what content you're going to make a presentation on. It's I'm looking forward to the ad-libbing. I'm looking forward to the possibility of conversations changing in one whole hour segment. That's how I'm seeing it. I'm not sure if anybody else is seeing it that way, but that's my wish for this event. I'm hoping that the changes here are positive. Again, I think people are being very, very harsh on Based Mama. Again, I don't know the whole story. I've watched her side videos. I didn't appreciate the things that she was saying in there. I can understand some of the reasoning why she did. Maybe she's frustrated because of all the backlash. I mean, she's an up-and-coming YouTuber, and Dave Cullen, you know, he had a lot of side excuses as well. I thought this I watched this video on the NDA being done and gone. Is that really the case now? I have no idea what to think at this point. Everybody's giving out information left and right. All I think everybody wants here is just clarification. I live in Phoenix. I'm going to attend regardless, and we'll see what goes on from there. Other than that, I hope you guys are having a great day. Peace out.